Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Brighton Day show. Today we are talking about a few things, but first I need to do some housekeeping, so just bear with me, especially if you're new. First, no, I have not seen Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights? I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it. I tried to make people go with me, and then I heard bad reviews, so then I was like, do I actually want to go? And then I sat there and I was like, yes. Because I keep seeing Margot Robbie absolutely eat in every single press tour thing they've ever done for the show. Her stylist, which, oh my gosh, I literally follow and I can't remember the name. Maybe I'll put it in the description box, but absolutely doing incredible work. Incredible. If you didn't see the red velvet dress, I think that's my favorite look that she's done. Literally a ball gown and just draping, and then has pink underneath. I don't think it's tulle, but pink fabric underneath. That's so amazing and perfectly tasteful for the film. I don't know what I think about the film yet. So if you have seen it, comment down below, because I would love to know what you guys think about it. Either way, they're both beautiful people. Beautiful. And they're just fun to look at, especially fashion-wise. That's all I have to say. Second housekeeping thing, no, I have not done a new playlist yet. I really need to do a new playlist. But honestly, it just snowed, and so I was like, oh, I kind of feel like it's still winter instead of spring. But if you have any new song that you've been liking, comment that down below as well, or send it to me on Spotify. I think I can link my Spotify profile, and then there's weird messaging going on with Spotify now where you can direct message. It's weird. I don't know. Try that out because it's actually kind of fun. Spotify has a lot of issues, but that is one kind of interesting improvement that I have seen. So also housekeeping. I finished my book club book and I have gone on to a new book. So I finished Braiding Sweetgrass and I've gone on to, with my book club, we're reading East of Eden. Very good so far. I'm only on chapter 11, but there's some crazy things happening already and characters that are being introduced that I'm very intrigued about, and I'm actually really excited to see what happens with it because I don't really know a whole lot about the book. Secondly, I do think there's a renaissance when it comes to fantasy and fantasy novels. My sister has tried to get me on the fantasy novel train for 6 years now. 6, 7. I didn't even mean to do that. Do I have brain rot that bad that that's just the first numbers that come to my head? I don't even know. I don't know. We're just going to disregard that. Anyways, fantasy is absolutely in, and I am reading Throne of Glass, everybody. Woo! This is the first fantasy novel I've read in such a long time. I'm not too far into it. I'm on chapter 7. It's already interesting, though. I kind of like the banter back and forth between, the prince and the girly. They're cute. Also, I think the story is going to be really, really fun. I feel like I'm kind of fatigued with self-help at the moment. So fantasy is just a good revival of my spirit, I feel like. Anyways, I think that's enough housekeeping. I hope you guys are just having a great day today. We are getting into the Olympics. And more importantly, how the Olympics are incredible, and that is when I'm the most patriotic person when it comes to America, is the freaking Olympics. When I see USA, especially doing well, but any of them working their heart out for the country, I am an American and I root for them like crazy. I don't know. I just it's a natural thing. I can't help it. These people are incredible. I feel like for the people that get a lot of praise in the media, and yes, I feel like gold Olympic athletes usually get some praise in their moment, but these are the people that mothers need to be showing their daughters to look up to or their sons to look up to, because it shows so much about your character if you are able to be an Olympic athlete. There's nothing cooler than that. And they're healthy, they're strong-willed, they have hopefully good mindset in place. I played sports all growing up, and I will forever hold on to the lessons that I took from sports. And that is actually why I do believe kids should play sports. Some sort of something I feel like is so, so good for you. So anyways, Olympic athletes are so freaking cool. What is that rugby girl's name? It's like Iona something. She's so cool. I love her. She's literally the greatest thing ever. We need to stop worshiping some of these celebrities. Start worshiping, just kidding. I actually don't believe in worshiping anybody, but giving more flowers to these athletes. And one of those athletes that I absolutely love, and she's been getting her moment in all of media especially, but her moment in the Olympics is Elisa Liu. I'm going to make sure I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure I looked it up because I'm just such an amazing journalist or podcaster. Not really, but I think it's Elisa Liu. She's my girl. Her energy, she's so cool. If you have not seen her Olympic gold medal ice skating dance, recital, dance, something, it's amazing. I wish I could play it for you guys, but here's the thing. YouTube doesn't really like the whole copyrighted thing. They do not like the songs that these amazing skaters dance to, but you need to go watch it. I could explain it to you, but you won't have as amazing as of an experience as you would have if you just go watch the performance, okay? She is so calm and so playful and childlike and innocent in like a way of you just can tell she loves what she does. You can tell that she loves her sport. She loves competing. She loves showcasing her art. And I was watching this 60-minute interview with her, and she was talking about how she loves pressure, actually, because it makes her feel alive, which is the coolest way to think about stress and pressure. Because it is true. Like, you feel so locked in when you feel pressure. And if you just change that perspective to like, oh, it makes me feel the most alive. I thought that was such a cool like reframe on something that you could kind of have a hard time with, is a lot of performance anxiety or performance pressure. And my mom literally studies performance psychology, and she was talking about this forever ago. But yeah, little reframes like that are really cool. And I feel like she's a perfect example of someone who has been able to do that. And people, like, there's even interviews like right before she goes on or like a week before where they're like, how excited are you to try and get the gold? Are you trying to get the gold medal? What do you think about that? And she just shuts it down every time. And she's like, nope, I'm here to display my art. I'm here to do what I want to do, what I need to do. I'm here to do what I worked for. And that will show through. And I feel like that is the utmost thing that we need to take. The lesson that we need to take from this girl is, if you have something that you love to do, but there is also like, whether it's a monetary outcome or you're worried about what the audience thinks or what other people think, that is the wrong goalpost to go towards. The audience, actually Rick Rubin says this, which if you don't know him, he's amazing. He talks a lot about creativity, but he's a music producer for like all of the top A-list musicians. And he talks about how the audience comes last. The art comes first. You come first. The art comes first. What will serve the art the very most comes first. And then the audience comes last. But in turn, it will actually make the audience love it more. Because he talks about like commercializing music. And it's not a bad goal if that's the goal that you're intending to have. But there's so much more to be said to serve the art first. And she did that, and she's amazing. And if you don't know, I was actually reading right here. I was reading about her background and how she was a competitive skater, competitive figure skater. Hold on one second. Okay, so this article by the USA Today was talking about her background in figure skating and how she used to be a professional figure skater. And she was struggling really hard. She was struggling with the sport and the pressure and how people were telling her what to do, what she could wear, what she couldn't wear, how she needed to look body-wise. And she hated all of that, which I don't blame her. That's a very hard thing to do, especially at 16. And so she competed at I believe, I can't remember when it was, but it was when she was 16, she competed, and then she retired after that. And it was talking about how she had severe PTSD where she couldn't even go towards the ice rink anymore. And She didn't think she was coming back, basically, because she was having such severe PTSD. And when she finally came back, she realized that she wanted to come back on her terms and her terms only. No one was going to tell her what to wear, what to eat, what she couldn't eat, how she needed to look, what music she was doing, her costumes, nothing. It was all her. It was all her creative choice. And I feel like when you are able to shift it to that, you in turn do not burn out because you have so much creative drive from within yourself, which you can tell this girl works tirelessly, insanely hard. But there's just something about her that you can tell that she loves it with a fiery passion, and it's like a pull energy instead of like, oh, she has to push for it. If you guys don't know who Tony Robbins is, he talks a lot about that. He talks about how you need to reframe your goals into something that will make you get pulled towards it like a magnet instead of being like magnet. I always say that word wrong. I don't know why. But something that pulls you instead of something that you feel like you have to push towards and you're striving towards, and it's hard and you're straining and you're going to burn out because of it. And so I always think about like the really easy reframe of like, what can make it more fun? If you have this goal and it's hard and there's things that you're struggling with and you're trying to like figure out how to get through it, the simplest question of like, how can this be more fun, is actually a really, really phenomenal question. Because even something as simple as like, okay, well, I need to put away my laundry. How can I make this more fun? For me, I usually put on music and I'll like literally dance as I'm putting away laundry. I don't know. That's just like fun for me. Or I'll like save something on YouTube that I've really wanted to watch for the time that I need to put away my laundry or like do my dishes or whatever. And it's like an easy thing, okay? And I feel like she does this so well. So well. You guys need to watch her performance. You need to read about her. She's amazing. I believe she's 20. I think she's 20 now. Anyways, either way, her hair is also amazing. I love that choice. I love creative choices. I love them. It literally makes me emotional. It actually makes me like so passionate. I like need to find other stories. I've just looked into this girl as well as another woman. So we're going to move on. This woman can do it all, actually. Literally can do more than most on this planet. And this woman's name, hold on. This woman's name is Dr. Regina Martinez. Dr. Regina Martinez. She is the first so Mexico had their first female cross-country skier, and that is Dr. Regina Martinez. Her story, man, of just like grit and determination through it all is crazy. I was reading about how she had to move to Florida for her residency for becoming a doctor, obviously. And obviously Florida has no snow. So she was like dog walking on the side, trying to pay her bills. She had another coach saying that she was too old to compete and be an Olympian. And she was talking about how when she was younger, she that was her dream, is to become an Olympian, but she didn't really know like how that was going to happen. And then she got into cross country skiing with her friends, and then like kind of reignited that dream. Obviously, I believe she was still cross country skiing throughout her teenage years as well as like onto her schooling years, but like didn't really go for it until semi-recently. But there's this video. There is this video of her finishing the cross-country race, and she did come in very last place, but that does not matter. It does not matter. The Olympics make me so emotional because she comes in last place and people are cheering for her, and there's other people like USA, and then there's this, I think it was Team Brazil and another country, and they were all standing there and hugging her, and they were all crying, and it literally makes me cry to talk about it. I like can't even talk about it. But I want to show you guys this video. It's literally the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's so cute. I can't. They're all so happy for her. I can't. Just wait till Team USA. She looks so happy. I'm pretty sure you can hear her go, "I'm so proud of you." So cute. I literally can't. I I don't know if the men are as, as like, how do I say this? I don't know, as open when it comes to like congratulating the other skiers. I hope they are, or the other people in the Olympics, but that was so cute, man. That really does like make me have hope in humanity. Wait, why did I close this? I actually need this again. Hold on. I don't know. And I feel like the lesson I was thinking from hers is so simple, but it's like, don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Yes, it's so hard to have a day job and also chase your dreams. I literally am doing that right now. But also at the same time, like, don't worry so much about it. If it's meant for you, it will be for you. And I feel like if it's meant for you, you will work for it. You know what I mean? And you will find ways. There's always a way. It's really hard. I guarantee that lady is so busy. I can't even imagine trying to be a doctor and being an Olympian. That's crazy. But I just I don't know. It gives me so much inspiration that like, if she can do that, I can do it. I can do something. Probably not that. Maybe. But I actually was in nursing school and then I dropped out. So that's definitely not for me. I don't know. And then there was this last thing that I was thinking about when I was reading about her story of like struggle and triumph and chasing dreams, and how these Olympians literally spend their whole entire lives, every waking moment, training or thinking about it or figuring out how to get money from another job to fund their career as an Olympian, and how there's got to be a lot of worry involved and a lot of trying, obviously. And as I was like scrolling through Pinterest, actually, because I don't have social media on my phone besides Pinterest, I came across this poem by Mary Oliver that I feel like perfectly sums up the fear and the worry that people usually have, especially when you're chasing a dream, but in life in general, especially someone with anxiety like me. But this is her poem, I Worried, by Mary Oliver. I worried a lot. Will the gardens grow? Will the rivers flow in the right direction? Will the earth turn as it was taught? And if not, how shall I correct it? Was I right? Was I wrong? Will I be forgiven? Can I do better? Will I ever be able to sing? Even the sparrows can do it, and I am, well, hopeless. Is my eyesight fading, or am I just imagining it? Am I going to get rheumatism, lockjaw, dementia? Finally, I saw all that worrying had come to nothing, and I gave up and took my old body and went out into the morning and sang. You're kidding. I love it. If it's meant for you, it will be. And maybe the thing that you're hoping for is not even the thing that's supposed to be for you. And you, in the best way, have to try and trust and stop worrying so much, because everything will work. Everything will work. I don't know. I guess that's my thought. As well as I love the Olympics so much. I don't know. And one very last thing that I wanted to read, because, oh my gosh, I actually got a good comment on my last video. I don't usually get comments, but I so appreciated this. I guess it was my second to last video. I talked about Marilyn Monroe and the printing press and AI and like all these different things. So if you haven't checked it out, you should go check it out. But anyways, this girl left the biggest, longest comment about Marilyn Monroe, because I was talking about how I had read these crazy things about these men and how they treated Marilyn Monroe and all this stuff. So I'm just going to read it for anyone that listened to that last episode. But also at the end, she told me of things to look into. So I'm going to kind of do a teaser, because I think I'm going to look into this woman for the next show. So she talks about, and yes, Marilyn Monroe was the blueprint, and she was one of the most beautiful women ever alive. But she's not my favorite. She was also a very complicated person, which isn't talked about much nowadays, since people prefer to only keep her as a good persona alive. And okay, so she says, and yes, Hugh Hefner purchased the burial crypt directly next to Marilyn Monroe. He said he wanted to spend an eternity next to her. Honestly, that's so creepy and disgusting. Yeah, and not even after her death was she allowed to rest in peace. Yeah, okay, it gets worse. And Richard Poncher bought the crypt directly above Marilyn Monroe and requested to be buried face down so he could spend eternity looking down. It was reported that he was there for years, until in 2009 his widow put the crypt up for sale to pay off her mortgage. But And this is a big but. In 2009, the auction for the crypt about Marilyn Monroe ended in a winning bid for $4.6 million from a bidder in Japan, but the buyer later backed out due to a payment issue. As a result, Richard Poncher's remains reportedly stay in the crypt because no successful buyer finalized and purchased that relocation. What a creep. And his family too. Yeah, I agree. Also, I highly recommend looking into Heidi Lamar. I'm absolutely fascinated by her, which I have looked into her a little bit, but I think I'm going to do a little more. Oh, and also I recommend you watch the documentary Queen of Chess on Netflix about the one and only Judith Polgar. So I'm definitely going to do that. I will keep that on my list. Thank you so much for that comment. I loved it. You should have done this video because I did not know that. I wasn't even knowing the names. I just thought I had read it somewhere. So I appreciate that. Anyways, I hope you guys go and drink some water, see the sun, touch some grass. I need to do that this week. I need to schedule that in. Touch some grass. And until next time, goodbye.